Okay, so as we can see, it's cleanup day, Monday Madness. So I took some stuff out just to rinse off and clean off, and got a few new plants that I am going to put in. So that is pretty much what I'm doing right now. I guess we'll see what happens. Oh look, my snail is finally moving. I thought he was dead. I guess not. But alright, I will be back. Okay, so Monday Madness is pretty much done. I cleaned up everything. I tore apart whatever, just so I can clean behind, under, and in between. I did add a few more plants. A couple I had soaking, in quarantine for a few days already, but I got them in the packages at Petco. So they're snail free and pretty much parasite bug free in there, but I still soaked them for a few days just to make sure. I added the CO2, which I didn't have in before. I needed new tubing because it wasn't long enough. So I did that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. These guys are looking relatively happy. They're still figuring out who's boss. For the most part, it's that guy, the snakeskin that we think is. He's kind of a schmuck. But yeah, that's about it. I did want to show you one thing. So as we can see, I now have a background. In the earlier video, you could see all the wires and whatever is hanging back there, the tubing and whatnot. So what I did is I went to Joann's craft store, fabric store, whatever you want to call it, and I grabbed fabric. Right here, as you can see, and some Velcro. And now I have a removable background, so when I get bored, I can just go in, take it off, and put in something else. Sorry about the reflection going on, but yeah, that's what we got. They're happy, I'm happy, it looks good. Now it's just gotta grow in, and this is the part I hate. I have no patience, I want it, and I want it now. But I'm not Violet from Willy Wonka, so I guess I will be patient and let it do its thing. I do have my 2-gallon tank inside with the shrimp in it. Excuse me. And I recently got a couple more from Discus Madness the other day. And I obviously don't know which ones are which. I already had some, other than a couple of them that are a little different. But I do have some babies. So this little guy was in there with the shrimp. He's a little catfish algae eater. And I took him out just because I don't want him eating the shrimp. So, yeah. He'll help keep this clean. He'll do his thing. But yeah, everybody looks happy. I keep the temperature at about 80, 82. So it depends on how they're doing, if they aren't eating, if I don't like the way that they're acting or whatever, if I'm medicating. Obviously, the temperature goes up a little bit, but 82 is like good. It's not too hard on the plants, and it's good for the fish. It keeps them comfortable, I guess you can say. I do have the UV sterilizer going. I'm not very happy with it, to be honest with you. I think I'm going to end up returning that one. That's the green machine, the green killing machine. I might return that and get the Coral Life one. See if I like that one better. This guy up here, he wasn't doing very good. I had him in the isolation tank for a few weeks. He wasn't eating, he wasn't very active. So I put him back in here after, I watched him for a couple weeks, obviously. I didn't just stick a stick fish in here. But he is more active. He's a little bit more colorful. I could see his pattern a little bit better. And he's now picking. He's not eating like I'd like him to, but he is picking. So it's a step in the right direction. Now I am going to point out that this guy, the rose red, I got from Discus Madness the other day. And not sure if you could see it. Maybe I'll have to do a recording later. But if you look at his eyes, they're kind of damaged. And now, I did check him out, obviously, when I got him. But, you know, I kind of put him in the tank and let him rock out for a couple days. I don't want to be too much in his face. And I'm just noticing it this morning. Oh, and there's the camera hog. Yep, see? Yep, she's putting herself right there. Gotta see her. So I am going to watch that guy back there. I might just call them and let them know, like, I don't know what happened. But, yeah, that's my only complaint, is this guy's eyes. It's kind of bothering me a little bit, but time will tell. And that one back there, that white one, is the green dragon that I had picked up. Very playful, very out and about for the most part, but again, these guys are fighting each other still. So yeah, that's it. Again, I redid the tank a little bit, added more plants. The emperors are loving this. I might get one more of them. I'm pretty sure they're all males. I'm excited to see them get bigger because they were stunning inside the store. Absolutely stunning. They had like lime green eyes, beautiful coloration. So hopefully they get bigger, and I'd like to get one more. Like I said, I think they're all boys, so I think I'd like a girl. I know that some people are like, ew, you don't want to breed, but I wouldn't mind watching. And I have a local fish store that I usually get my discus from. Usually I get them when they get a shipment in and they're not too healthy, like this guy, my ugly duckling that I brought back to life. Sometimes, you know, you save them, sometimes you don't, but I have no trouble taking a free sick fish and babying it. As I've said in my other videos, I like a challenge. I like to see something that isn't really something turn into something, if that makes sense. But, yep, that's it. Camera hog's back. So, they're all getting along, they're all doing their thing. Can't wait for the tank to grow in. I did add a little bit of fertilizer. You know, even though I got the CO2 going, once a week I try to throw in a little bit of liquid fertilizer. It hasn't bothered my fish or my snails or anything else, so I am doing what works for me. This is a 65, so I usually put in like 5 mLs of the food valve fertilizer that they have. But I guess we'll be back. Again, I kind of liked the idea I came up with that background. I did pick up other fabric just in case I didn't like this one, or if it wasn't something I wanted down the road. So, improvise, people, improvise. You know, real quick, I'm going to show you what I've concocted, actually, to clean with. You know, a lot of people just go out and they buy the siphon with everything. I can't even think of it right now. The python. Everybody goes out, they buy the python, and you're spending $60+ on a hose. So what I did was basically mimicked the python for like $14. So I went to Lowe's and I picked up tubing. Very simple, $5. And then I went to Lawn and Garden and I picked up this adapter. I got the other adapter on the sink, We won't walk there right now. I won't make you dizzy. But it's the same thing. I hook it up, and it does basically the same thing. Instead of the Python, which has the adapter that comes off, you know, like you turn it and it pops down, I screw this on, I push some water through real quick, get the air out, and then I just disconnect this, and it sucks the water out anyway. I didn't really have any luck with the Python. I don't know what I was doing wrong. I've used them before, I've had them before, but whatever, I wasn't fighting with the hose. So I said, screw it, I'll make my own. Rather save money for fish, or plants, or stratum, or another tank. Yeah, basically for anything that I rather have. So, yep, that just hooks into the sink, and then into the tank. While I'm switching everything around, I adapt it with this little bad boy that came with one of the tiny suction hoses I had. It works. I'll make a video next time on how to do that. I do, you know, cleaning Mondays and Fridays, so Monday I usually do a deep cleaning like I did yesterday, which literally took me hours, because I, you know, like to take my time, and I did this tank on top of it. This guy was, you know, this tank was pretty empty. I didn't really have time last week to play with it, and I wanted to grab some more plants. I didn't really have enough. So that is what we got going on here. I put some moss on that. I got that Java fern going on. I got peacock fern going on. A little bit of grass. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, basically. Some Java moss. It looks good enough for them. They dig, as you can see. I personally cannot stand when there's any of the white sand coming through. But they're diggers, and I'm not going to fight with fish. So, that's their tank. It's their mess. I put the sand underneath because it helps with the drainage, and it helps hold the plants in a little bit sturdier. Again, these guys seem to be diggers. At least this one especially, my convict. But, what are you going to do? Down the road, I might get more stratum and just thicken it up so it's not so easy, but for now, it's good enough. They're happy, I'm happy. Water temperature is perfect. My ammonia, you know, all that, it's perfect. And the thing I like about plants is it's natural. They come from the river. They come from wherever they come from. It's not usually, I mean, now they're man-made tanks, but in the wild, they don't have a glass bottom tank. The key is cleaning. The key is keeping up on it. You know, having the right fish work for the right parts. Like, you got bottom feeders, you got top feeders, you got algae eaters, you got catfish, there's such a slew of different fish and types, but they all work together if you do your homework. I do have 2 catfish in here. The Raphael catfish that I had in with the discus. I had 3 of them. I put the 2 bigger ones in here with them. Actually, I should say I left them in here. Discus came out of here, went into the bigger tank. So I just left the catfish that I had in here because they're getting a little bit big for me to keep them in with the discus, in my opinion. I did have a little itty bitty baby one that is with the discus right now. I like having catfish just because they clean and they move everything. You know, even though they might not be eating everything off the bottom, they are moving everything, which the filter then will suck up. And while we're talking about that filter situation, this filter is going to be changed out. I'm not happy with it. I mean, it does its job, but it's got the, you know, the filter drop-ins, the cartridges. I don't know about you, but again, that's wasted money. I rather spend towards something else. So I did get, you know, filter and foam, all sorts of different stuff and media that I am going to be putting into my filters, my hang-on back filters, I should say. I got one here, and I got one at my friend's that I take care of. So I will be converting that. Yeah, I mean, everybody looks happy, they're active. The Severium can kind of be a little rude to the convict, but they work together right now. Her colors are coming out. I don't know if it's a girl or a boy, but we're gonna go with her because she's got pretty pinks coming out. I do need to get a different light for this tank. I took the light that was on it off and I added it to the tank with the discus, so it's a little brighter. But I also like the fact that the light that I had has different colors, so I like having a night light at night. I like being able to look at my fish at 3 o'clock in the morning. So instead of really disturbing them, I put it on green, red, or blue so I could see them. It gives the plants a break. You know, photosynthesis is part of what helps them grow. Again, do some homework if you want to change to convert, you know, if you want to convert to live plants. But, alright guys, thanks. This is what I got going on. Any questions, I mean, you can comment. I'd happily help.